Delhi, a city of dreams, a city of aspirations, a city where countless young minds come to chase their ambitions and build their futures. But on this day, it became a city of sorrow, a city gripped by an unimaginable tragedy that left everyone in shock and despair. 3 young lives full of promise were tragically cut short, lives that held dreams of serving the nation, of making a difference, now extinguished. They were students, diligently preparing for the civil services exams, their days filled with books, notes, and the hope of a brighter future, their dreams drowned in the basement of their coaching center, a place meant to nurture their aspirations turned into a watery grave. The cause? A fatal combination of heavy rains and negligence. The relentless downpour overwhelmed the city's infrastructure, exposing its vulnerabilities. The incident sent shockwaves through the city. People were angry, they wanted answers, they wanted justice. The streets echoed with cries for accountability. The incident raised serious questions. Questions about safety protocols, questions about infrastructure, questions that demanded immediate attention and action, questions about the value we place on human life. How could such a preventable tragedy occur in a city that prides itself on progress and development? The city mourned the loss of its children. The air was thick with grief, as families and friends gathered to remember the young souls taken too soon. And amidst the grief, a collective demand for accountability began to rise. The community united, determined to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. They sought not just answers, but change. The Delhi High Court, the guardian of justice in the capital, took notice. The judges were unconvinced by the initial investigation. They sensed something was amiss. They decided to intervene. The case was transferred to the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. The CBI is India's premier investigative agency. It is known for its thoroughness and impartiality. The court wanted answers. It wanted to ensure a fair and just investigation. The transfer brought a glimmer of hope to the grieving families. They felt that finally, justice might be served. The court's intervention was a beacon of hope. It showed that the system was listening. It showed that even in the face of tragedy, justice would be pursued. The tragedy exposed a deeper malaise. Delhi's infrastructure was in shambles. Unplanned urbanization had taken its toll. Building codes were flouted with impunity. The Municipal Corporation of Delhi, MCD, came under scrutiny. The court questioned its role in ensuring public safety. Where was the oversight? Where was the accountability? The coaching center incident was a wake-up call. It was a stark reminder of the city's crumbling foundations. The incident forced everyone to confront an uncomfortable truth. Delhi, despite its aspirations, was a city riddled with systemic failures. It was a city where human life was often treated with callous disregard. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the police were under immense pressure. They needed to show swift action. They needed to appease the public outcry that was growing louder by the minute. And so they made an arrest. Manoj Kathuria, a man who had parked his SUV near the coaching center, became their target. His crime? His vehicle allegedly obstructed a crucial drain. This obstruction, the police claimed, contributed significantly to the severe flooding that had wreaked havoc on the city. The arrest reeked of desperation. It was a classic case of finding a convenient scapegoat. The court saw through the charade. They questioned the very basis of the arrest. Was it a genuine attempt to uncover the truth? Or was it a crude attempt to deflect blame from the real issues at hand? The court's skepticism highlighted a worrying trend. It showed a tendency to prioritize quick fixes over genuine justice. The public too began to question the motives behind the arrest. Was Manoj Kathuria really responsible for the flooding, or was he just an easy target in a complex situation? The media coverage intensified, with reporters delving into the details of the case. The courtroom proceedings became a focal point of public interest. The arrest of Manoj Kathuria became a symbol of the broader issues plaguing the system. It was a stark reminder of the need for accountability and transparency in the pursuit of justice. Section 5. Justice delayed, questions remain, the aftermath of a tragedy. After spending 4 agonizing days in custody, Manoj Kathuria was granted bail. The court, in its wisdom, recognized the injustice. Kathuria's car might have played a minor role, but it was certainly not the primary cause of the drownings. The real culprits were the systemic failures, the lack of oversight, the disregard for safety regulations. Kathuria's arrest and subsequent release raised uncomfortable questions Questions about the police's eagerness to make arrests without proper investigation. Questions about the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. The incident left a bitter aftertaste. It exposed the flaws in the system. It showed how easily justice could be miscarried. Section 6. Public outcry. A city demands accountability and change. The coaching center tragedy ignited a firestorm. People were outraged. They took to the streets. They demanded justice for the victims. They demanded accountability from those in power. Social media became a platform for their anger and frustration. The public outcry was not just about the 3 lives lost. It was about a system that had failed them. It was about the indifference of those in power. It was about the lack of value placed on human life. The people demanded change. They demanded a safer city for themselves and their children. Section 7. Building a safer tomorrow. Lessons learned and the path forward. The tragedy served as a wake-up call. It forced the city to confront its demons. It highlighted the urgent need for change. The Delhi Coaching Center tragedy was not just an isolated incident, it was a symptom of a larger problem. The city needs to prioritize safety in urban planning. Building codes need to be strictly enforced. Regular safety audits of public spaces are a must. Accountability needs to be ingrained in the system. Only then can Delhi truly become a city of dreams. A city where aspirations can flourish without the fear of tragedy. Section 8. The Watchful Eye. Media's role in exposing injustice and ensuring transparency. The media has always been a powerful force in society, acting as the 4th pillar of democracy. In the face of tragedy, the media stood as a beacon of truth. They were the first responders in the realm of information, ensuring that the public was informed. They brought the Delhi Coaching Center tragedy to light. This incident, which could have been buried under bureaucratic red tape, was brought to the forefront by relentless journalists. They kept the story alive. Through continuous coverage and updates, they made sure that the victims' voices were heard and that justice was pursued. They relentlessly pursued the truth. Investigative journalists dug deep, uncovering layers of corruption and negligence that led to the tragedy. They gave a voice to the voiceless. By highlighting the stories of the victims and their families, the media ensured that their plight was not ignored. The media questioned those in power. They held press conferences, asked tough questions, and demanded accountability from those responsible. They exposed the systemic failures. By showcasing the neglected infrastructure and the lapses in safety protocols, they highlighted the root causes of the tragedy. They ensured that the tragedy was not swept under the rug. Persistent coverage and public pressure kept the issue alive in the minds of the people and the authorities. The media played a crucial role in ensuring transparency. By bringing every detail to light, they made sure that the process of justice was transparent and fair. They held a mirror to society, forcing it to confront its shortcomings. Through debates, discussions, and public opinion, they made society reflect on its own failures. The media, in its true spirit, served as the watchdog of democracy. They celebrated the freedom of the press and the power it holds in shaping a just society. They proved that even in the darkest of times, the light of truth can never be extinguished. The dedication and perseverance of journalists ensured that the truth prevailed, offering hope and justice to those affected.